watch whose views or you will be eradicated.
Hello, welcome.
Has Children in Need got a hotline?
Welcome to Whose Views Reviews. Yes, we are here. We are, goodness me, we are just recovering from Children in Need 2023. Yes, we have gone through watching Children in Need 2023 just for you, Who viewers, and I hope you appreciated it. Yes, it was. We've just been looking at what we're calling Destination Skaro. I don't know if that's an official title. I've no idea, but it sounded good, so we're going to stick with that one. And I have to say, my God, if I had known, gentlemen and Who viewers, that they were going to drop it from Children in Need at exactly the same time on their social platforms, I wouldn't have bothered putting myself through the most excruciatingly bad television I have seen in my life.
When do you send me the check for this, JT? Honestly.
I'm going to send you a rubber one in the morning.
That's it. Compensation. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hello to everybody that's watching us in the chat. Fantastic to see you. Right. So, yeah, we're going to get through this.
I think you should.
We're going to get through this.
I think we need to rename this. It's a bit like An Earthly Child Tribe of Gum. I don't think this should be called Destination Skaro. You should call this a Doctor Who fan counselling line because you know,
we might call carry up the Callard bunker. It should be called.
Yeah. So please send your comments in, and we'll do a group therapy here. I think.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to need it, aren't we? We are absolutely going to need it. This was. Yes, the 2023 Children in Need segment, minisode, scene, whatever you want to call this. There's several things I could call it, but I am a polite person. And yes, this has just been screened on the 17th of November 2023. You can see from the scroll below, written by Russell T. Davis, directed by Jamie Donahue, and starring David Tennant. What the hell was that, guys? What was this?
Well, can I just say, I didn't watch all the Children because I was on my way home from work. I rushed home from work to see it, and then watched it twice. Once, completely flabbergasted, and the second time cursing my under my breath. But I have to say, it started off quite well. I thought the opening shot was lovely, and they had Julian Bleach as Davros. Fantastic.
Julian Bleach was there, yeah.
Fantastic. And then it went like that. So
it was just, I don't know. I mean,
I suppose you've got to, especially for our overseas viewers, we've got to say the context is it is a snapshot of Doctor Who in a charity program, and you see lots of children in care, carers, disabled, etc. So the context is important because it. I mean, if I look at the history of Doctor Who in Children Need, apart from the 5 Doctors and the TARDIS arriving and all the rest of it, Time Crash was a good one.
That's good that you've mentioned that, because this was nothing like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because Time Crash, you would say, was canon, I would have thought.
Well, Dimension Time's not canon, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, don't shut up. You know, the whole thing about this is canon for me is whatever you want it to be. So, for example, because I didn't follow any of the Chibnall era, that is not canon to me. But lo and behold, what we get right at the top of this episode, of course, is the 14th Doctor turning up in the TARDIS and going, 60 minutes ago, I was a bright woman or a bright female, or however he put it there. And I just thought, here we go. Here's the immediately they're going with the, yes, it's all part of the same thing, you know, and there's no kind of, oh, come on, it was just nonsense. I have to say as well that actually this, I don't understand how this fits, Brendan. You're talking about canon. I don't understand this because this carries on from Doctor Who magazine's comic strip. This is in the latest edition of Doctor Who magazine, where this comes through here. And as you can see there, the TARDIS is swirling through time and space. And he says there, I wouldn't want to go back to Skaro in a hurry. And of course, that's where he ends up on this. But, you know, what?
Yeah,
Somewhat...
I don't understand. I don't understand that. Why it's only been an hour? If the comic strip ran for 8 months, how long was that meant to be? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what's going on?
Let's just say.
I thought we'd grown out of this, taking the Mickey out of the Daleks by this stage. You know, it's like we got over that before, and they tried to make the Daleks more successful, less comical, and more serious. And now they've just gone back to where they were before.
I loved that what did they call it? That dexterous claw. I thought, they've dated the Dalek, and then suddenly they go, oh no, we've got a joke coming, plunger.
Yeah.
You think, oh.
It was awful. I mean, the Kit Kat advert was better than this.
Yeah.
My estimation. I'm actually quite pissed off, pardon my French, for what they did to the Daleks there. But what this all was, of course, was this is actually, we could rename this, talking about renaming it, we could name it the yearly the yearly I can't even talk now. They have to put the Daleks on the screen every year with the nation estate, and this was it. This was their saying, yes, we've done that. This was honouring the contract that they made in 2003, 2004, to whatever it was with the nation estate, wasn't it? Really, to say yes, we'll have the Daleks on air every year. That's what this was. But listen, we've got some of our chums here in the chat. Let's say hello to everybody that's watching. There's quite a lot of you watching us for this.
Start the therapy.
Yeah,
well, here it is. Scottish Davros Daniel is here. Davros is out the chair. Red flag. He is raging, and that's simply because Davros is Daniel's favourite character. Garbage is here. Hello, mate. He says he hated it. He's also saying he does need counselling.
Not the only one.
That's fine. Michelle is here. Michelle, who joined us the other night for The Unearthly Child. It started great. The comedy with the assistant was forced. I want to talk about that in a minute as well. Pete's here. Pete Harrington's here. Hi, this was awful.
Yeah.
Kirsty's here. Hello, Kirsty. It was giving Grand Moff Tarkin meets the Penguin for Davros. Yeah. TARDIS Spider is here. Hello, TARDIS Spider. If you haven't seen this yet, you're gonna have a laugh when you watch
this. Go to bed, TARDIS Spider. Go to bed. Don't have a coffee. Don't do anything.
You'll have nightmares, Terry. You'll have nightmares. Don't do it.
What we've got here, Garbage is also saying, just glad this stream is on, so we haven't got to watch it anymore. I mean, they miss Terry Wogan on that show. Let's talk about Children in Need. They miss Terry Wogan, don't they?
Well, if anyone didn't see the intro bit, you had two of the presenters, one dressed in costume, Tom Baker, and one as Jodie Whittaker. And there you have the BBC sitting on the fence as usual. Tom Baker, legendary Doctor cosplay, and then the Jodie Whittaker one. You're thinking, well, yeah, you can try your best. And then the dialogue you're talking about was, he said, I was a brilliant woman. And I thought, is that all you can say? With Tom Baker's Doctor, with the original Tennant Doctor, you can really describe it, but brilliant woman.
But you know what?
She made a Dalek from Sheffield, a sonic screwdriver from Sheffield Steel. I mean, she's brilliant. It was just
another commentary. That was just another comment at all of the fans that didn't like that era and people like me that didn't watch it. But do you know what? For anybody watching this, hardly anybody in Britain watched the blooming era, so they don't need to reference it at all. So it's dumbing down.
It's not an iconic costume. It's not famous.
It doesn't matter. No. It didn't need to have any reference to that era at all. And as Darren is seeing here, hello, Darren Zone, nice to see you, mate. I hope it's not a sign of things to come next week. And I actually think it bloody well is, to be quite honest. I think that is absolutely the sign of things to come.
Please tell me that. Please tell me that wasn't Murray Gold's music, because that was like Benny Hill.
It was, yeah.
It was like Benny Hill, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when it first started off, they got the first opening shot of the TARDIS in space heading to Skaro. That was beautiful, looked great. And then the actor playing the Kali's scientist came in, and that was looking okay. And when Julian Bleach came in, I thought, yes, they're taking it seriously. And then it just fell apart. And then the comedy music is just awful.
Did we get Nida's original voice as well?
Yes, we did hear the voice of Peter Miles as Nida in there as well. And I think it was new recorded dialogue as well. I don't think it was lifted from Genesis of the Daleks. But the fact is, I don't know. I'm actually quite annoyed about this. about the fact that, you know, they took this and they referenced Genesis of the Daleks in it. They referenced an era that nobody watched in it and that they know is divisive towards fans, that they actually took the mickey out of this. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, is this going to bring the British public back to watch David Tennant next week? No, it's not.
No,
and it's no wonder watching that show that over 2 million households in the United Kingdom have cancelled their license fee because it was absolutely dire.
Well, this is the thing. If you're, I mean, you know, when we talk about our halcyon period watching Doctor Who, it was still a period, you know, in school and that when a lot of people didn't think it was trendy and you had to just be brave and fight it through. Now, if you're now a kid again thinking, oh, Doctor Who's back, and you watch that sketch and your mum and dad are sat behind you and your older teenage brothers sat there, can you imagine the smirks on their face? And I can see my brother's face. He would just be he'd just be going, really? You like that?
Yeah. I mean, you don't do that, do you? They've worked so hard over, well, certainly the initial years to make this a BBC drama that's taken seriously. And then he churns out that, I mean, Kirsty's saying here, everything is getting dumbed down anyway. Do you know what? It probably is, but it shouldn't do. Why do we accept it? Why are people accepting it, Kirst? I don't get it. And Michelle's saying they were not going to have the Doctor come out and say my past Doctor nearly killed the series. Why reference it at all? Why reference it at all, though, Michelle? Because, you know, all they had to do was have Tennant come out the TARDIS, and you're right back to 2008, because that's where anybody watching the show who are the not wees would have gone to and thought, oh, this looks quite. Oh.
So let's say JT, what he's done there then in a little 2 or 3 minute sketches is he exercised all that rubbish, and now we'll get to the real series when he won't mention Dodie Whittaker, he won't mention being a woman, he'll just get on. Let's hope for the best that this is kind of an exorcism.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, they took the time when the series came back in 2005 with Dalek to make the Daleks a real threat again.
Yeah.
And this is just put us back to where we were between 96 and 2005. The series, the Daleks are just a joke.
Remember that sink plunger in that Dalek story that crushes people's skulls and all the rest of it? That's where we were. The sink plunger we knew wasn't a joke anymore. The joke was on anyone who thought
and now it is.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
And it's a shame. I have Paul's right. I like the graphics at the beginning thing, because you know we all sat there going, "Well, the series is on in a week's time. Come on, what's this? Okay, graphics, okay, yeah." And then I love the TARDIS crash landing, bit of graphics there, like that. That was good. Here in Nida, seeing Davros walking. I know, you know, Scottish Davros. I don't know if that's a bit he's angry about.
Yes, Davros is out the chair.
Yeah. Seeing Davros, I mean, that's the only thing you can do in a quick sketch is you can't have Davros in the chair, is maybe have Davros before he was injured. We've done that with Terry Malloy and all that. And I thought, well, that'll be interesting. So there was promise. It was just when we had, with, I think, was it Michelle or Kirsty was saying that once that companion was there, and he's a comedian, isn't he? He's a comedian actor. And
supposedly, yes.
Yeah, and you think, oh, hold on. You didn't need him there. And of course, this whole idea, this funny wheeze that the TARDIS and the Doctor therefore was part of the genesis of the Daleks. And you think, oh, really? And that Davros approves?
Yeah. And this is a great point here from Garbage here, because we are getting an awful lot of people that are on the same page with us, but we've got a couple of people that aren't. So let's come to them in a minute. Garbage is saying, I'm annoyed that is not Doctor Who. That wasn't required. The brilliant comedy writing by Peter Davison on the 5-ish Doctors, then we get this. Yeah, and of course we all know the story. Peter didn't want to do it because there was too many politics involved with doing a sequel, wasn't there? Barry's saying it's an insult to the original Genesis. I'd like to say hello to Ben. Hello, Ben. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Ben's saying, lads, it's just a silly thing for children in need. It's really not that deep. Yeah, but you know, a lot of the time, Ben, they come along and say, well, these things are part of your continuity, like the time crash one or whatever. I get what you're saying. I do. But at this pivotal point, Ben, I really think the series has been in a very bad position, and this was the first time it's been seen under the new production team. They really want people coming in for the 60th anniversary and beyond into Shooty's time. Considering the amount of people that would have seen that tonight, And I'm going by how the viewing figures Children Need used to get, which used to be huge. I'm not sure if they are anymore, but it would make an impression, and first impressions last. And that was just, it was a comedy skit.
I'm going to play devil's advocate to help Ben as well here, because you know, we have to be fair.
It's nice that Ben's being honest with us. That's great. Thank you, Ben. It's nice to see you.
And I did give a bit of context at the beginning, right? On Children in Need Night in Britain, and I'll say it for Americans and Australians and everything too, that you sometimes have an EastEnders sketch where you have all the actors and they're playing their parts, but it's a little bit comedic, blah, blah, blah. So whether we see it through that prism, which is it's a Doctor Who sketch, yes, it uses a Dalek, yes, it references Genesis, you know, our great story, but it's just dabbling because it's Children in Need. It's just playing with characters. It's like getting your toys out and playing.
Yeah. I think, Ben does have a very point. And tomorrow I might wake up and go, oh, what did I say? He might actually be right. But right now I just think, it was so important to get people back in, the British public especially, back in and hooked next week. I'd like to say hello here to Wendology, who's joined us. Nice to see you. I think we have our answer to what is coming. I really hope not. And I'm really hoping, Wendology, that actually Ben is correct. It was just a silly little throwaway thing to do their bit for Children in Need, and we will never reference this again.
The thing about it is, though, it's like, of all the places to go to for a little scene, why did they have to go back to Genesis?
I've no idea.
To do something that's less iconic, less really classic Doctor Who, that's going to be now tainted because of this little sketch a little bit. I don't know what Ben's saying. It is for Children in Need, but Comic Relief do jokey things. Why can't Children Need do a straighter thing? They did it.
You know what?
With Time Crash was a bit straighter than this, but still had some humor in it.
Time Crash akin to that would have worked, and I think that's where the level is. And it's a shame because I will compliment RTD because he does make Doctor Who part of Children in Need, and you know, we've got to get this right. I was getting
it has been since '83. He just carried on what was set.
He did, but the point is still there, and we've got to really remember, before the Doctor Who fans, we all go up our own bumhole, which is, you know, I was getting upset watching some of the episodes about children struggling, and Doctor Who was just bringing some light relief to that. And I think that's where Ben is right for calling out the context, because, you know, Doctor Who fans can't get too serious about this. It is part of a sketch, as part of a night where we're trying to raise money for children, British children who are disabled, in care, etc. And you've got to have that context to it, really.
I don't think you do. If you're going to do Doctor Who, I don't care. You do it properly, because you have a fan base that you have to honour as well. And as I say, at this pivotal time, I think that should have been more serious. And I think something like Time Crash would have been better. Something that took itself without taking the P out of it. Something that realised it was better, and it would have been better at this point because it's in such a pivotal time. It's still hanging on a thread here. Doctor Who. It's on a life support right now, and if they don't come back next week, they don't come back. And this would have been part of the reason, because there's no hook.
So let's say, right, everybody who's listening to us now, will you write a comment now? And if I if I ask everybody now, what was our main, just one point, what is the main thing we didn't like about that? So, for example, what would you say, JT? The main thing?
No, let me just go through what the main thing of that is. I don't know what it was for. I don't know what it was for. I don't know what it was there for, and I just take it as an insult. Peter is talking. Dimension in Time was better. I'm actually going to agree with you, and you know how much I don't like Dimension in Time, and now that is canon. So let's talk about that. That has been mentioned recently as that. I mean, it will never be for me. And, you know, I hated it when I was on it, and I hated it after it. But we've got lots coming up here. Gosh, thank you very much for everybody here. Heda here. Lovely to see. I thought it was funny and I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was the part where Jodie's doctor was called brilliant. Fair enough. That's okay. Tardy Spider is saying, do not know. If I use that, I would wait till after Christmas and get them all free. The DVDs will be soon enough for me. I don't know what that's there. I don't know what's let's have a look. Let's have a look. Kirsty's saying, yep, even I've seen Genesis. Michelle is saying, I don't think this is canon. Well, we never thought Dimensions in Time or Time Crash or any of the others are, but they have all been put into some sort of, I don't know. Gary's not happy. I'm officially finished with Doctor Who, and goodbye and good luck. All the best, everyone. We'll keep tuning into us because, of course, we are going to be, Gary. We're going to be looking at
you, Gary. Don't you worry. So.
We're going to be looking at all the original Doctor Who's that you love, Gary. So don't leave us. We will miss you. The Tennant part was funny. Ben's coming back saying, glad people can understand what you mean. Actually, we do. We absolutely do, mate. Don't worry about that. We are all grown-ups here. We absolutely do. Kirsty was saying something with him coming away from the cliff, a TARDIS crash in the start of next week. I don't know. You see, that's the other thing. It doesn't explain how he gets to... It doesn't explain how he's off to Camden now. So you can actually discredit it. Ian's here as the third Doctor. Thank you, Ian. Nice to see you. Pete Harrington saying, gosh, keep all these comments coming. It's because of the lead up. It needs a bit more gravitas with a hint of comedy. Possibly, yes.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to do that with Star Beast anyway, so I don't know why they need this at all.
I don't know what they're doing. Michael's here. Java been listening in the car, so won't be able to comment, which is probably for the best, to be honest.
No, don't crash the car.
Drive carefully.
Davros is Scottish Davros Daniel here. Davros out of the chair. Bug me. I find it grossly offensive. He is a massive Davros fan. We know that.
I think the thing is that I don't mind that because it potentially we don't know exactly when the Dalek was completely devised. There's never any reference of when he was injured. So it's potentially feasible for that to fit in continuity. But having Julian Breach was a lovely touch, though, don't you think, to have him in there?
Yeah,
it was nice to have him, but it's a shame he went a little bit sort of pantomime-esque villain, didn't he? And I don't have any pictures of Julian Breach because, of course, that was a surprise for us in these. What was it, 5 minutes? Was it 6 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah. It felt like
longer, we did have this chap turning up who I've never heard of. Now, this is Marwan Rizwan.
Has he been on that Sky Spy program that we used to be on?
Well, he's obviously just come off the set of Star Wars. I've never heard of him. I've never heard of him at all. But his instincts, of course, were to go slightly.
Well, we had a joke about the anagram of Dalek and Khaled, didn't we?
Yeah, as soon as that happened, I thought, "Oh no, don't do that."
What did we?
That was disrespectful as well.
Yeah. But I did spot, did you see, which is that good or bad, that when he opened the TARDIS door, it was still a Jodie console. So
that's in the comic strip, isn't it?
That ties in with this because it's still the Jodie console room in the comic strip. As you can see there, something is it's all from the Liberation of the Daleks Doctor Who magazine thing. I haven't read the other issues, but it's all there. Something is going on with the TARDIS, as you can see there. That's what triggers its architectural reconfiguration or regeneration for the TARDIS as it's known now. But it's all there, and that's why, so they've tied it into the comic strip. So when we get to next week, goodness knows how it's going to be looking. But so this gentleman here, as I say, I've never heard of him at all. It was just such a shame that he, with the lines he was given, he did play it a little bit sort of not camp exactly, but it wasn't. It wasn't drama acting, was it?
No, both of them, both Julian Breach is a fantastic actor, and the other actor I don't know much about. But if they played it straighter, we talked about this about Unearthly Child. They played it straight, it would have been better and less tongue in cheek, I think.
Well, you had that jazzy Benny Hill music, which
was as well, really,
Where did that come from? I just don't understand where that got through here. We've got Time Lord 2023 joining us as well. Nice to see you, Time Lord 2023. I liked it. I like how they made Davros human. I think the human Davros was more darker, and he's excited now for the 60th anniversary specials. That's fantastic. I hope that translates into to the public as well. We'll see. Michelle is saying here the assistant was the weakest link. That's the gentleman played by Marwan Rizwan. Yes, goodness me. Lots of comments there. Thank you all for watching.
The thing I found, look, I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I was understanding. We were waiting for the moment it came on, the sketch. But when they were hyping it up, and then you had the music playing for quite a long time in the background, and they've wheeled the police box back on, all that stuff. For once, as a Doctor Who fan, I was thinking, this isn't gelling with me. You're overhyping it for where we are as a nation. And it just didn't. I almost felt as though you should have come in modestly. Do you know what I mean? It's like just modestly, here's a sketch, Doctor Who's back. But instead, you can feel the BBC machine really ramping it up. And I'm feeling it's not linking.
Yeah. They're desperate, though, aren't they? They're desperate to make this work. And but I think this is the wrong way of going about it for me personally. I know I'm a fan and I'm coming from a different point of view, but as GT said, the general public, if this is giving you vibes of, oh, it's Doctor Who, that looks rubbish, then what's the audience going to be like a week tomorrow?
If it's going to hook any. Do you know, it showed me the difference between Children in Need Now and the Children in Need I Remember, because we had this one thing with the very, very poorly, badly voiced Zippy and all the puppets are cooking in another TV show. I remember Children in Need being just a night based around the telethon with actual television shows inserted in. Now it seems what they do is they go out of their way to film particular things that will fit into children in need, which explains why this was sort of humorous, if you like, and not as it wasn't what I was expecting. Put it that way, viewers.
And I think you're spot on, because I was saying this downstairs when we were watching, and I said the tone's different. When it was Kerry Wogan, Joanna Lumley, Sue Cook, it had a very different tone. Yes, it was a telethon. There were more kind of authority figures, and actually you just got on with an evening on BBC One interspersed with things, and so you would get a half-hour program that was just a half-hour program. But now it seems that from everything in it, the tone was lighter and more kiddie. Can I just say though, by the way, if anyone only saw the clip but didn't see Children in Need, Lenny Rush, who's in the new series, was on, and he's cute as, and he's all right. He's got good comic timing.
The youngest television presenter they've had on that, they said on that. I mean, he's still a kid, isn't he? He's only 13 or 14 or something. So the youngest presenter. Thanks for that comment there, Michelle. Some of the humour was forced. And Heather or Hida is saying, I just think it was all in good humour. I love Genesis of the Daleks too, but this didn't feel disrespectful to me at all. Fantastic. I'm really pleased about that as well. So again, this is going to be one of the 50-50 things, isn't it?
About presenting Children Need, it's gone very comic reliefy.
It was awful.
Comedians on it. Yeah,
was it presented? Was it presented? I mean, that had to be. As I say, if I'd known it was going to drop on the Doctor Who platforms, the social media platforms, yes, because it was excruciatingly bad television. And as I said at the top of the show, it doesn't surprise me if that's what the BBC is churning out now. It doesn't surprise me that people have stopped watching the BBC because it was painful. It was absolutely awful.
I looked while I was waiting to come on. I could see all the tweets from BBC Studios and various. What did you think? And it looked like to me, it was a kind of Marmite. It was 50-50. I could see people. So, like some of our comments we've had, people loved it. I love it. It was like that. And then there was also the people who said this is absolutely. So it did seem.
I prefer Marmite myself, but I mean.
Well, Zippy does it. But I love the fact that in this little show that we're doing this evening, we have had some new people coming in to join us, and they've been giving us I love that. Thank you so much for coming and telling us what you think, because that makes me feel a little bit better that there are fans out there that are really ready for and pumping for next week and the return of the Doctor. And please come and join us with your comments about the specials, because we are going to be doing our Who's Views reviews the day after on the Sunday nights. We're going to be here with the Whotastic panel giving our review, and I want to hear from you. Please come in and join us and give us your opinions on the episodes from when you've seen them, because this is what this show's all about. It's Who's Views.
What's on your thumbnail? Debate, discussion. What's the third one, JT? You have.
I can't remember. It's been months. Opinion.
We do want. This is what we need. If we all go one way, we need the comments to say, "Hold on a minute," and pull back. Everybody.
And that's the way fandom should be. Should be allowed to have a discussion and not fall out about it, like the old days. That's what we want.
Yes, it is, and it's great to see Time Lord 2023 here. And Heather or Hida, please let me know how to pronounce that. I do apologize, but you're new to me, so it's lovely to see you. And who was the other gentleman that was here? Ben as well. It's lovely to see you. Please come and join us. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you know when we're going live. We've got lots of content here on our channel. Check out the playlist. We've been celebrating 60 years of the Doctor all through November. We're going to be tipping into December as well, because we've got a lot more coming. But yes, we want all those opinions on the new episodes, because right now it's just great to know that you're there, because after tonight I'm like, oh God, don't make it camp, don't make it funny.
What would have worked for me tonight and would have worked for the series coming back a week on Saturday was probably simply a little preview scene from next week's episode would have been enough, I think.
Yeah.
The trouble is they've up to death with the trailers, haven't they? I mean, we need something left.
Well, no, they've not really given much from the trailer. They keep repeating the same one. There's a couple of trailers been on already with maybe a second or two more of Donna saying "my house" or whatever kind of thing. That's about it. So they've not really.
You've got that Doctor one. You've got the Doctor who sees Donna, and that little shot there. You've got a little bit where she's back. What's going on here?
But we've still got 54 minutes left to see. I think we're okay. So.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot on the BBC One from tomorrow onwards as they're trying to build up. I'm feeling a little bit better from some of the comments from the Who viewers in there. Thank you so much, because I was getting season 17 vibes And I was a little bit worried that that's going to be the tone for next week. But you're reassuring me. You're all saying it's not going to be like that. So that's great. So let's hope
it's a shame. It's a shame John Daly's on tonight because he loves season 24. If it's right up his street, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, Pete, this is brilliant. Pete's saying, yes, it's all good discussion in the chat. It's just opinions. That's right. No right, no wrong. Just opinions.
Yeah.
It's quite old-fashioned, but that's how we rock on this show. Absolutely. Scottish Davros, Russell has been infected by bonkers Hollywood. Not sure about next week at all now. Well, listen, the only way we're going to find out is we're going to watch it, and then we all come back here on Who's Views Reviews for the first of our reviews on these three mighty, I hope, specials. Goodness me.
Everything crossed, guys.
Everything is crossed. Well, listen, guys, this was just a very quick one, wasn't it, to do this as an impromptu. Thank you so much for joining us for this show, for Who's Views Reviews, based on what we're calling Destination Skaro for the children in needs. 5 minutes.
Up the Khalid bunker, can we call it that?
It's now available on all the Doctor Who social platforms. If you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, please leave comments if you're seeing this at some other point in time and space about what you think about this. Please remember this was an immediate reaction to what we've just seen from ourselves and people in the chat as well. But we will be back, as I say, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please give us a like, ring that bell so you know when we're going live with all our other content. We've got lots of other content coming for you, as I say. But please join us. Give us your opinions on those specials. I'd love to see it. I know the guys would love to see it. Let's have a good old Who's Views chat, because it's all going to kick off now, isn't it? It starts next week. But we will be back through the week with some more of our other shows celebrating the Doctor's Diamond anniversary. Don't miss Diamond Day, which is on November the 23rd, where we will be giving our instant reactions to not only the Doctor's actual 60th birthday, but we are going to be watching, of course, the Daleks in colour. And we'll be talking about that. And hopefully a lot of the panel will be here to say what they think.
I dare you to watch the colorized Daleks on a black and white telly. Go on.
What would be the point?
Well, if you do that, I'm sure Barbara's pink cardigan will shine through the black and white.
Oh, I've got things to say about pink cardigan. No, so yes, so that's it. So we've got Peter saying I fancy a pint now. I think the rest of us do too. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. We will see you very soon. Look after yourselves. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the Time Muddler Brendan. Thank you to Paul. We'll see you again very shortly. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Keep faith.